Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing Hofstede's onion model and its application in understanding culture, which is a complex and multi-layered phenomenon that has a significant impact on our behavior and values. So let's dive in. Utilization of Hofstede's onion model is critical for effective communication and collaboration in a globalized world. It is an invaluable tool that gives you or the team a comprehensive understanding of the diverse layers of culture and the ways in which they affect human behavior. It is of paramount importance to grasp the intricacies of culture, as the slightest misinterpretation of a culture's values, beliefs, or practices can lead to misunderstandings and potentially undermine relationships and business opportunities. The onion model allows us to look deeper into cultural dimensions, enable us to anticipate the manner in which individuals from different cultures are expected to react to certain situations, and is a vital element in effective cross-cultural communication. In addition to facilitating communication, the onion model provides a framework for successful collaboration by appreciating and acknowledging different layers of culture, which we can identify shared values and beliefs, which can foster trust and facilitate successful teamwork. This is a crucial consideration when working across cultures, as different cultures have varying degrees of collectivism or individualism, which can influence a team's dynamics and outcomes. To further illustrate the effectiveness of Hofstede's onion model, I'm going to use the example of social media. Social media marketing efforts should take into account cultural differences in how users interact across platforms. For instance, in Japan, social media is utilized for entertainment and communication with friends, while in the United States, it is frequently employed for commerce. Therefore, recognizing the varying nuances of how social media is utilized, you can tailor social media marketing strategies accordingly. So who is Gert Hofstede? Well, he is a renowned Dutch social psychologist and one of the most influential researchers on the topic of culture. His work has contributed immensely to the field of cross-cultural communication, and his research on cultural dimensions of values and behaviors remains highly relevant in today's globalized world. Hofstede's onion model, which is the subject of this presentation, is derived from his seminal book, Culture's Consequences: International Differences in Work-Related Values. Published in 1980, the book drew on data from over 116,000 IBM employees across 40 countries and represented a pioneering effort to measure and compare culture values across different countries. It was then expanded into cultures and organizations. Hofstede's books are a landmark in cross-cultural research and presents the concept of cultural dimensions, which are 6 broad categories that represent key differences in cultural values and behaviors, and which we will discuss later. First, let's define culture. The concept of culture is multifaceted and is a complex one. It represents a vital component in shaping human behavior, attitudes, and beliefs. Culture is the shared set of values, beliefs, and practices that a group of people have in common, and it is transmitted from one generation to the next through socialization and acculturation. It is a learned and dynamic process, constantly evolving and adapting to changes in the social, political, and economic environment. Different cultures may place varying degrees of importance on factors such as tradition, individualism, collectivism, hierarchy, gender roles, and spirituality. These cultural factors can have a profound influence on the way individuals view the world, interact with others, and perceive themselves. Moreover, cultural values are not necessarily universal, and what may be considered acceptable or desired in one culture may be deemed unacceptable or undesirable in another. The study of culture, therefore, provides a rich source of insight into human behavior and attitudes, and is essential for effective cross-cultural communication and collaboration. Given the diverse range of cultures across the world, the study of culture has become increasingly important in today's globalized world. A common way of depicting culture is the concept of the cultural iceberg, which is an analogy used to describe the idea that culture has visible aspects and hidden aspects. The visible aspects of culture can be observed through everyday behaviors such as dress, food, and music, and these aspects only represent a small portion of the overall picture. They are the most obvious and the easiest to identify, but they are often superficial and may not accurately reflect the deeper values and beliefs of a culture. On the other hand, the invisible aspects of culture, such as beliefs, attitudes, and values, are more challenging to observe and are often deeply ingrained in individuals and societies. These aspects are not readily apparent and may require a deeper understanding of the culture to uncover. As a result, it is essential to look beyond the surface of cultural differences and explore the underlying values and beliefs that influence behavior. In a cross-cultural context, the cultural iceberg provides an important reminder that the visible aspects of culture, such as customs and behavior, are not always indicative of the deeper cultural norms and values. This awareness can help to avoid misunderstandings and miscommunications in intercultural interactions. Understanding Hofstede's 6 cultural dimensions is crucial for navigating cross-cultural interactions. Each dimension represents a set of values and attitudes that can vary widely across cultures. By understanding these differences, individuals can adapt their communication and behavior to better accommodate cultural differences and promote successful cross-cultural interactions. The 6 cultural dimensions are power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence. Power distance refers to the extent to which individuals with a culture accept and expect power to be distributed unequally. In cultures with high power distance, individuals expect authority figures to have a significant amount of power and may defer to their decisions without question. In contrast, cultures with low power distance emphasize equality and may be more likely to challenge authority figures. Individualism is the extent to which individuals within a culture prioritize their own goals and needs over the needs of the group. In cultures with high individualism, individuals may prioritize personal success and achievement over group harmony, while cultures with low individualism emphasize the importance of the group and may prioritize communal success over individual gain. Masculinity refers to the degree to which a culture values traits associated with masculinity, such as competitiveness, assertiveness, and material success. Cultures with high masculinity may place a greater emphasis on achieving success, while cultures with low masculinity may place greater emphasis on nurturing and caring for others. Uncertainty avoidance is the extent to which individuals within a culture are comfortable with ambiguity and uncertainty. In cultures with high uncertainty avoidance, individuals may be more risk-averse and prefer clearly defined rules and structures. In contrast, cultures with low uncertainty avoidance may be more comfortable with ambiguity and may be more open to change. Long-term orientation is the extent to which individuals within a culture prioritize long-term planning and the attainment of future goals. Cultures with high long-term orientations tend to value perseverance, thrift, and savings, while cultures with low long-term orientation tend to focus more on immediate gratification. Indulgence refers to the extent in which a culture values self-expression, enjoyment, and personal freedom. Cultures with high indulgence emphasize enjoying life and having fun, while cultures with low indulgence may prioritize restraint and self-discipline. The Hofstede onion model is a valuable framework that provides a deeper understanding of the layers of culture and the ways in which they interact to shape human behavior. It is comprised of 5 layers, including values, rituals, heroes, symbols, and practices. Each layer represents a different aspect of culture and provides insight into underlying beliefs and attitudes that guide behavior within a particular culture. Understanding each layer is essential for effective cross-cultural communication and collaboration, and help to build a strong and productive relationship with the individuals from different cultural backgrounds. The innermost layer of the onion model is values. The layer represents a core belief and ideas that a culture holds. These beliefs and ideas are deeply ingrained in the individuals and are often difficult to change. Understanding a culture's values is essential for effective communication and collaboration, as they provide the framework for understanding the motivations and attitudes of individuals within that culture. The next layer of the onion model is rituals. This layer represents the visible behaviors and actions that are associated with a culture. These behaviors may be religious, social, or personal in nature, and are often associated with a particular event or occasion. Understanding a culture's rituals is important for building relationships and establishing common ground, as they provide ways for individuals to connect with others within that culture. Heroes are the next layer of the onion model. This layer represents individuals or groups within a culture that are admired and respected. Heroes may be historical figures, celebrities, or everyday individuals who embody the values and beliefs of the culture. Understanding a culture's heroes can provide insight into the qualities and characteristics that are valued. Understanding a culture's heroes can provide insight into the qualities and characteristics that are valued within that culture. Symbols are the 4th layer of the onion model. This layer represents the visual or auditory cues that are associated with a culture. Symbols may be tangible, such as flags, clothing, or architecture, or they may be intangible, such as language or music. Understanding a culture's symbols is important for effective communication and collaboration, as they provide a way for individuals to connect with the underlying values and belief of their culture. Last, the outermost layer of the onion model is practices. This layer represents the everyday behaviors and actions that are associated with the culture. These behaviors may be related to work, family life, or leisure activities, and are often influenced by the values and beliefs of that culture. Understanding a culture's practice is important for building relationships and establishing common ground, as they provide a way for individuals to connect with the day-to-day experience of individuals within that culture. Now we'll take a deeper look into the onion model with a few examples. An example of practices would be in Japan, it's common to bow as a greeting, while in the United States, a handshake is more common. Below you can see other common practices and the countries where it is common. Namaste is a greeting said with the hand gestures, in which the palms are pressed together at the chest or head and accompanied by a slight bow or arm raise. Think of the greeting you do in yoga prior to a challenge in martial arts. An example of symbols is the American flag, which represents both the United States and its citizens, while a symbol of eagle represents power and strength in many cultures. Examples of heroes in the United States may include figures like George Washington or Martin Luther King, whereas in some Asian cultures, Confucius is also known as a hero. Rituals, Christmas and Easter, are examples that are important to many Christian cultures, while the Lunar New Year is important to rituals in many Asian cultures. For values, individualism is something that is prevalent in many Western cultures, while collectivism is more common in the Eastern cultures. Last, let's talk about how this applies across different contexts. Here we'll look at the business, academic, military, and social media settings. So for one, a business leader from the United States is preparing to negotiate with a company in China. Using this model, they can understand that collectivism is a more important value in China and adjust their strategy to emphasize the benefits of the group rather than the individual. For academics, a student may be looking into cross-cultural communication and recognize that there are different ways to greet each other across cultures. Using the model, they can understand that bowing is common in Japan, while the handshake is more common in the United States. For a military leader, such as one from Canada, working with counterparts from a Middle Eastern culture, and understanding the onion model and what it represents, they may figure out that authority and hierarchy are more important to this culture, so they have to adjust their communication style accordingly. And last, an influencer on TikTok can use the Hofstede model to understand their German followers and incorporate elements like symbols, heroes, and practices into their content to help them better connect with their German viewers and attract more followers from that country. In conclusion, Hofstede's onion model is an invaluable tool for understanding the layers of culture and how they contribute to shaping human behavior. By examining the different layers of culture, individuals can gain a more nuanced understanding of values, beliefs, and practices that are characteristics of different cultures, which can help them to navigate cross-cultural communication and collaboration more effectively. If you like this presentation, follow for more as we explore how to use Hofstede's onion model with AI in the next video. You can also check out the AI-powered strategic thinker, link in bio. Thanks for watching.